What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is a special video because I'm going to be showing you exactly what I eat. Every single thing that I eat today, I'm going to show you, and you can eat these foods and implement them into your calories, implement them into your diet, and lose weight or gain weight, whatever your goals are. Either way, this is exactly what I'm eating and how I have achieved the physique that I have. My cat is currently attacking my leg. But starting out, we have some eggs and spaghetti squash for breakfast. This is kind of our routine right now. We've been eating this every day for probably 2 weeks. For that, it was just eggs and low carb toast. But me and my girlfriend are trying this more animal-based diet, so we've kind of gotten away from the processed breads and processed like low carb tortillas, going more the animal-based route. So we've been throwing in spaghetti squash with a lot of our meals, with our beef, with our eggs, every meal that we really can, just because it adds volume. So let's go ahead and whip this up. We'll also have a little pre-workout snack following this in about an hour. I got to do some homework. After that, we will go hit a leg day. Now, I just showed you in my previous video, go check out my previous video. I showed you my current leg day, and we'll show a couple sets here today on this video. But yeah, let's go ahead and whip this up and eat it. All right, so for the spaghetti squash, thankfully this stuff is like super low calorie. All you have to do is take a spaghetti squash, cut it in half, put it in a pan, like a cooking pan, and put a little bit of water on the bottom of the pan. Throw it in the oven for 40 minutes at 400 degrees, and then it comes out perfectly, almost like a cooked pumpkin, and then you scrape all the sides out, and that's what this stuff is. But it adds a lot of volume to your foods. So like whether it's your beef or whether it's your rice or your eggs, it kind of acts as rice, like adds a bunch of volume to the food, helps fill you up. And it tastes good. But we're going to throw this into the microwave. One thing to consider when you're dieting down is how can you make your food go a long way? So what that means is like, how can you take the least amount of calories and make it fill you up or make it last longer? So throwing your proteins in with things like salads or with cauliflower rice or with spaghetti squash is going to add a bunch of volume. One, it's going to fill you up with low calorie food, and two, it's going to last longer. So like physically eating for longer, I think subconsciously makes you feel like you got more food than you actually did. Hey, kitty, get down. All right, meal number one. So we threw our eggs in with our spaghetti squash, threw some seasoning on there, some hot sauce, and also sugar-free maple syrup, which you might think is gross, but it's actually amazing, because once you start dieting, you start throwing sugar-free maple syrup on everything. It's so sweet, kind of like honey. You start throwing honey on everything once you start doing an animal-based diet, which you'll see us do here in a little bit. But this is meal number one. As you can see, a pretty big bowl, lots of volume. I'm going to be eating this for probably 10 to 15 minutes. Take my time, watch some YouTube, and then get back to homework. And then we'll do our pre-workout meal. All right, meal number two is some Greek yogurt, Simply Truth Greek yogurt, which has awesome macros, and it's sugar-free, but it's also flavored. So it's not just plain Greek yogurt. It has some vanilla flavor. I know they have like maybe a berry flavor of some kind, blueberry or strawberry. We also have some blueberries in there, like 70 grams of those. We also threw in some honey, and then I didn't show it, but also a little bit of sweetener. And again, we tracked everything on the app, weighing everything out. You'll realize too, like once you start weighing things out, it becomes so easy to weigh food out, and you become less of like a meal prepper and more just like you make food whenever you're hungry. Kind of how you typically would on a normal diet, except you just weigh it out real quick. So people think just, oh, well, I have to start weighing my food out, then that means I'm gonna actually just meal prep. And that's not the case. You can just weigh your food out as you make it. If you have a busy job, that's one thing, but I just make my food whenever I am hungry, like a typical American diet, and then just weigh it out real quick. But for this, we threw in the blueberries and honey. This is kind of our main source of carbs, is like fruit and honey in this diet. Besides that, we're pretty low carbs. Doing this before the workout, so we just have some energy. You know, this has been making me feel like really steady, no super high spikes in energy and then crashes in energy. just because like with higher fats and lower carbs, you just kind of feel like kind of just steady. With this and then a little bit of coffee or pre-workout, I'm gonna be ready to hit the workout. So let's get in there. All right, while we're heading over to the gym, we are sipping on our pre-workout mixture, including all of our Elysium supplements. So we have a Elysium pre-workout in here. We took our Elysium pre-workout fat burners as well. And also, I don't really worry about when my creatine is taken, so I threw some creatine in here as well. Gonna sip on this before we get in there, be feeling good. Oh, we also threw in Pump Surge from Legion as well. So code Riley at legionathletics.com for 20% off. The link is down below. Let's go hit legs. We're gonna start with, I think we'll start with some sort of squat, and then we'll move over to leg extensions, sissy squats, leg curls, boom, be done, cardio, get out, go to class. So, pretty hit right now. Did the sissy squats, we did 4 there, and then along with the squats, it's 8 sets so far for quads. We'll do 5 here, and then leg curls. Here we go. Here we go. 3 more. Oh, come on. All right, so that's gonna wrap up the leg day. Obviously super intense. Now, we did 3 sets, 3 working sets of those squats. I typically, if I had more time, would probably stick around on those for a little bit longer. But as you know, squats, one, they take forever to warm up with. You really have to be warm just so you don't hurt yourself. Same with benching, same with power cleans. Any of those heavy compound movements, you really gotta make sure you're warmed up for. So that obviously takes a lot of time. Second, they are so compound and they incorporate so many muscle groups that they are very taxing, and you need a lot of rest time in between sets. At least I do, to perform the way I need to. So 3 sets, you know, that starts to become a lot of time in the gym, and if I'm in a crunch, you know, you can't really do a bunch of sets. So 3 sets was perfect for today. Probably take a break from squats next week and then come back to them next time we do squats. So we'll probably try to allot ourselves a little more time so that we can, 1, take longer breaks, and 2, hit more sets. But that felt awesome. Did the accessory isolation movements after that with the sissy squats, leg extensions, and leg curls. We also did some glute stuff, which I didn't show you guys, but the basic, you know, what are they called? Abductors, adductors, those things, the white girl booty machines. Now we are going straight over to class. In between class and working out, if I do have a day like today where I'm getting done with the workout and immediately going over to class, especially if I'm going to be in class for a while like I am today, I'm going to be in class for over 3 hours, I like to bring a protein shake. So today I have a Fairlife, which is 150 calories and 30 grams of protein, which is awesome, especially post-workout. I usually try to get some kind of snack in, whether it's like super high in protein or restores glycogen, so like super high in carbs. I try to get that in as quick as I can, one or the other. I don't really know the science, but for me, I feel like I'm missing out on gains if I don't get some protein or I don't get some carbs, especially when I'm about to go a couple hours without food. So we got that protein shake, and with my like high protein meals, I always consider them high protein if they have 10 grams of protein per 100 calories. So obviously 30 grams for 150 calories is what? That's over double what we usually do. So that's awesome. And then we're also gonna have a little Coke Zero somewhere in between classes. One, because it tastes good, kind of a little treat to look forward to while I'm in class, and also a little bit of caffeine to get us through the day. So we will see you for the post-workout meal. All right, so here's the post-class snack, or I guess dinner kind of. We're about to go do cardio here in a minute after I eat this. But what we have here is some 90-10 lean ground beef. I was going to eat venison, but I forgot to thaw some out. So I stole some of my fiance's lean ground beef that she had out. 90-10, cook that up. I usually make burgers, but I kind of forgot. So I just ground it. Along with that, we got 1 egg. I typically eat, 3 to 4 eggs on my cut, whole eggs, and then on my bulk, it's like, it gets absurd. It's like 15 eggs sometimes. And then along with that, we made like this spicy mayo with light mayo, mustard, and also hot sauce. Whip that up. So we're just going to eat this, probably dip it in the sauce. Nothing crazy. You could add some honey to the beef. That really spices it up. Or I guess not spice, but makes it really sweet. Along with the savory, it's really good. We saved the other half of this beef. This is only 8 ounces. We have the other 8 that we will eat after we do some cardio. And I like doing cardio after I work out or after I eat because it helps digestion, especially if you're bulking. I still recommend doing some cardio, even if it is just a little bit of walking after you eat, because it helps, I feel like, utilize those calories better, helps you digest the food better, helps, this might be bro science, but help you take that food and actually, digest it the way you should be. Whatever. But let's go muck this. So I'm actually also going to have some Diet 5, Ocean Spray Diet 5, grape and cranberry juice mixed together. 5 calories. So I don't even track this. 40 calories for this whole thing. But we've just been sipping on this. And, you can drink diet soda. You can drink these diet juices. But keep in mind, the more of those that you do drink, the less water you're drinking. And we obviously don't want our hydration to get away from us. Because that just leads to crappy workouts. Especially if you're on a cut, hydration is one of your biggest things that actually you can regulate and feel good on because calories are low. So make sure you're getting some water in. All right, last meal of the day here. We have the ground beef, the leftover ground beef from earlier. So we got 8 ounces of ground beef. And then we also threw in, I forget how much it was, but you'll see, some egg whites. Mixed that in the skillet, seared all that up. Then we also have, which this is a weird combo, but we also have some frozen grapes. They just sounded good. So freezing the grapes makes them taste even more like candy because they're kind of like crunchy, which makes them better, and they kind of, you can eat them longer, if that makes sense. So we topped all of that with sugar-free maple syrup. Like I said earlier, you put it on everything when you start dieting just because it's so good. And also topped everything with salt as well. Salt on the grapes, my girlfriend was giving me craps earlier, but it's actually really good. Kind of the same concept as putting salt on like watermelon. You get that sweet and saltiness. This is our last full meal. After this, I think we're going to make a protein shake before bed. But that's really it. I'm feeling really full. I'm not really hungry at all. And that will put us around 21 to 23, somewhere in there. 100 calories, so it's kind of ideal. And like I said, on the weekends, we obviously eat a lot of food. So I did 30 minutes cardio. 35, and usually Monday through Friday, I'll do 35 to 40 minutes of cardio on top of being in a deficit. And even when I start bulking, I'll probably stay doing some cardio 15 to 20 minutes just to, one, keep digestion down, like I said earlier, and also I just feel it's better for regulating that water weight. So even though you are bulking and you don't really care about getting fat, like it's still nice to not be carrying a bunch of water. So doing some cardio helps with that. So let's eat this. All right, you guys, this is the bedtime shake. We have a scoop and a half of the Legion protein powder. We have what was left of our Carb Master milk, almond milk as well, and then we also have a bunch of ice. On top of that, we threw in some xanthan gum, and what xanthan gum is just kind of thickens things up. So if you want to make pancakes or a protein shake or protein ice cream, it really helps thicken up whatever you're making. And then we also threw in sweetener and cinnamon. So it's kind of like a little pumpkin shake to wrap up the night. But let's go ahead and look at the total calories for the day. All right, so the total calories for the day was 2,146. We had 78 grams of fat, 117 grams of carbs, and 262 grams of protein. Now for me, I like to have an emphasis just on calories and protein, and then where fat and carbs kind of fall just kind of depends on what diet I'm doing. With being on a cut, I tend to do lower carbs, higher fats, so that's why the fats are high. With the bulk, carbs are for sure going to come up. I always tell people, my clients and myself, just calories and protein are my biggest emphasis. So, and I try to get 1 to 1.5 grams of protein, sometimes even 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Those days are like obviously super high, but as long as you're hitting 1 gram to 1.5, you're going to be in a good range. So I hope you guys enjoyed this full day of eating. We're going to be back to our normal vlogs coming up. Go ahead and watch the next video, which is probably a vlog or a workout of some kind. So I love you guys. Remember to love God, lift weights, and live life. We'll see you next time. Boom. Look at this lighting. Ooh. And like always, comment, like, and subscribe. Obviously, if you comment, it helps the algorithm. God bless.